Excuse me. Okay, great. So I hope I am live. Yes, yes, seems so. So, friends, welcome to this Pain Points webinar session number 3. I understand it is a Janmashtami today, so I had intentionally kept it session at 8 p.m. today because it may be a holiday for some. If you can't take a holiday from clinic, you should not be taking holiday from anywhere else. If you have taken a holiday from your clinic, you can just accommodate 1 hour more. Anyways, uh, if you can see me and hear me clearly, type LC in the chat box. I'm speaking from a wired line because my Bluetooth gave way. So if you can see me and hear me, please type LC in the chat box. So thank you for your engagement in the chat box. So welcome to Pain Points webinar number 3. And before that, I'll be giving you a brief history of what we have done till now. So as usual, all my presentations always begin with thanking the Lord Almighty who's given me much more than what I deserve. And of course, this series was started on 12th of August last week, last Friday with the 3 webinars, and it was the mini day of education tools. Thank you, Dad, for according me the power to do this and continuing with the same to do whatever best I can for my community. So this is my brief CV. All are aware of it by now. And happy Janmashtami, happy Krishna Janmashtami to all of you. And I assure you that the session, my part will not be more than 1 hour, 10 minutes max. I'll wind up then, and maybe the queries, if are there, I'll do that. So wherever I finish, I'll stop it and we'll continue from there like we have been doing in the previous sessions. So just to give you a brief history, what we have done so far. So this is webinar number 3. Before that, we have done 2 1-hour sessions at 7 a.m. and 2 p.m. And this is the third time, 8 p.m. Exactly after a week. And webinar 4, I have already told you, part 4 will be on 30th August, Tuesday. Time I'll let you know, but most likely it will be 7 a.m. So what we did in the part 1, for those who were not there, we started with the pain point differentiation that everybody has pain points in the clinic. And of course, this is nothing new. If we broadly speak of pain points, they are nothing but problems. And simply speaking, they could be easily grouped into various categories, broader categories. So I gave you these 7 categories. Of course, we have not been able to go beyond category number 3. So we covered 1 and 2 and a partial part of 2 in the first webinar, part of 2 and 3 in the second webinar, and we'll be continuing from part 3 or process 3 pain points in today's webinar. So we categorize I have categorized all those in different pain points. Of course, the categorization is not exactly, you can say too much technical, just to put it in an order so that it is easily understandable. So the financial pain points had the pricing and the charging things, where we discussed a lot of things with good materials, value providing, and of course, how to raise the charges, how to deal with the bargaining part. I gave you my viewpoint. Of course, those of you appreciated it. Thank you. If you don't agree with me, I'm absolutely okay with that. So how to balance your finances? Patients will keep on saying you're costly, but they'll keep coming back to you. What are the reasons? Being expensive is not an abuse. All these aspects we discussed. Then, of course, we have to keep raising our charges to meet inflation part. That is absolutely very clear. And people have been comparing seniors, even seniors in their degree, means MDS have been charging lesser than them. So those sort of issues are there. There is a category ethical pain points. We'll be discussing a few of those issues in there also. But then some of these were having a broader outlook, so I discussed in there. So about 22, 23 points we discussed in the financial pain points. Then we discussed in the productivity pain points what are the main reasons. Less of footfall, lack of OPD, lack of patients, because people means dentists here, people hardly differentiate between marketing, visibility, and just prayers. People keep on sitting in their clinic with the good setup, with everything in place, but absolutely no patients or very minimal patients. They fail to realize that there are so many things you can do offline and online. I gave you the ways of doing offline marketing in the form of networking. I gave you a lot of ways in the form of doing an online marketing via a content marketing plan. Of course, as we go ahead in Pain Points 4 and maybe the last Pain Point 5 webinar, I'll be breaking you up into different categories of content marketing plans, how you can differentiate and distinguish between certain things which can help you grow your practice visibility wise organically, because it is a very simple reason. Many of you had written that we have burnt money in the ads but still did not get any patients. The answer in one line is very clear. Do you order food from a restaurant whom you come across first time? No, you go and check their reviews. So if you are doing ads, if you don't have a landing page which will speak highly about you, you don't have a validation proof online, why will somebody buy from you, or means somebody will become your patient? So understand very clearly, nobody is going to buy from you the first time they come across you online. So if you're burning your money in ads, you are absolutely doing a wrong thing. You have to start the organic thing so that you have at least some validation ground where you have some database over there. Top it up with your patient feedbacks and testimonials. Top it up with your patient awareness. Top it up with your, you can say, content marketing plan. Visibility wise, be visible, be standard. I told you we have a standard login, standard, you can say, your KYC or ID online. For example, mine is Dr. Bhavdi, which is standardized from Insta to Twitter to Facebook to anywhere, even to my website. So that is absolutely fine with that. Of course, I'm in a phase of transition for a couple of things, which you will come to know very, very soon, because a lot of things are happening at my back end also in these days. And literally, I committed for the session, but today afternoon, I was like, should I call it off? Should I not call it off? I've already announced it because things are really, really busy at my end, at the back end. So a lot of things going on. Then we took up, continued the same in the Pain Points webinar part 2, where we first began with 2 commonest scenarios. Of course, I'll be giving you 2 scenarios today also. So especially pertaining to females. And then we started with the process pain points. So we discussed quite a number of points in there. I think about 55 points we discussed in there, which were related to the procedural or the, you can say, the treatment related parts in our clinic. So a lot of pain points. I spent a lot of time on all these topics. Many of you felt that your questions were answered. Some of you will still believe there is a lot more to come, because if 40% have passed, 60% is yet to come. Already announced 4 and 5. So these were the topics that we have already covered in there. So I think we took up till 52, point number 52. I'll continue from there afterwards, of course, today. So let's begin today's session exactly at about 9 or 10 minutes into the session, and I'll continue for 60 more minutes, and I'll try to wind it up by then, and any queries afterwards. So those of you who want to leave after 1 hour, you can do so to enjoy the Janmashtami. I understand that. So before I start today's session again, I'll take up 5 scenarios. Sometimes I come across people or come across pain points which were posted in personal to me, which were very detailed, which were like, you can say, like a dukti rag, if I translate that in Hindi. They were really as if I have touched the bare nerve. So my pain point is myself. When I started dentistry, had a vision of dream clinic set up and practice. I was very focused, disciplined, and knew I can do it. As a female dentist, life, dreams, vision change, and priorities change. But as time went by, marriage, commitment, responsibility, personal loss of near and dear, added responsibilities changed my perception of work-life balance. I'm happy in my space, but professionally could not reach where I wanted to. Last 6 years have been roller coaster, as clinic practice was so neglected, and I was only doing to keep it going, losing interest in upgrading equipments, learning as I could not put into practice due to lack of patience, due to my own absence in clinic, even reading or going through your videos, which I used to do very regularly. So I have taken backup of everything and need to start reading from scratch. Since my clinic is 1 chair, 1 assistant, sometimes I just don't read or see anything related to multiple chair assistant practice management, clinical practice management. So thereafter the pain points begin. So what I would like to tell this colleague is that you need to understand that if you are starting from scratch because of family responsibilities, because of any other reasons, You need to understand that ultimate dream is the scaling of the practice. The ultimate dream is freedom of time, freedom of finances, as we all say, financial freedom. And when you scale up your practice, technically, people believe as you grow in practice, you become more busier, whereas it should be the reverse. Whereas it should be the reverse, because there are a few fundamental functions of any business. I'll deal with that before I start with the process points today. So to give you a brief idea, because many of the pain points will be merged in that very easily. So any business has 7 functions. The 7th function, of course, I'll come to all of them, but 7th function is management. So once you grow in practice, the primary thing is that you should be spending less time. Otherwise, you will be in a trap of self-employment. You may be the best person in your clinic, do every job. But that is where you need to realize the Eisenhower matrix should be embedded in your brain. The 2x2 matrix: urgent, important, urgent, not important, not urgent but important, and not urgent, not important. 2x2: do, defer, delegate, and delete. Those 3 should be embedded. People do not have a prioritization in their life. That is what leads to a problem for them. Once they are very clear that these are the things I have to do, they'll ultimately end up doing them. But when you have ye bhi zaruri hai, ye bhi zaruri hai, ye bhi zaruri hai, it's okay. You end up doing none, or maybe partial for everyone. That is the problem. Sometimes I tell colleagues, it is not important whether your bed is made or not, whether your office desk is clumsy or not. But if you are doing the things which you have prioritized for that day, that desk can still be cleaned at the end of the day. That can be cleaned by someone else also. Just an example. So people spend a lot of time in doing finicky things. नहीं मेरे को ना जब तक मेरा environment clean नहीं होता ना, I cannot work. Stop giving excuses to yourself. When you have excuses with you, you will find 1,000 reasons to say a no to any task. But to do a task, you only need one reason. And sometimes that one reason gets embedded in the body of those 1,000 excuses. So if you are starting from scratch, again limiting your focus like an horse with a blinder, one chair, one practice, I will do only that. Tomorrow when you scale up, then you will again read from scratch for the twin chair setup, for the multi-chair setup. Don't make that mistake. Do not make that mistake. Now, clinical pain points that I need to concentrate: inability to upgrade practice into high-ticket customers because of a simple small clinic. It is all related. You said you were absent. Whatever reason, I am not pinpointing it as your mistake. Let's look at the reasons realistically. You were absent, you lost patients. You had lack of patients, so there was not much finances flowing in. There were not much finances flowing in, you could not upgrade. If you could not upgrade, automatically you will not have a patient trust factor. When you don't have a patient trust factor, how you do expect high conversions? High conversions, nobody walks in, doc, I read your board, please do my FMR. Kind of a similar case. Or I have 10 implants to do in upper, 6 implants in upper, 7 implants in lower. Please do it. Nobody will walk in like this. Nobody will do that. You have to build your trust factor, and from your needs and wants of the patients, you have to attain or churn out those patients or convert those patients. It is ultimately the trust factor of your old patients that translates into your high ticket thing. I really sometimes feel surprised when youngsters 1, 2, 3 years into practice, they just crib, I don't have any FMR cases. Oh, come on, how many days you are into practice? Not even 1,000 days. And you want a FMR case right in the first or the second year of your clinic. If you are lucky, you may get it. But do not expect it right away. Do not disappoint yourself by expecting that. So, inability to upgrade clinic size or location due to financial constraints, and also feel not required now as a female dentist. Expansion at the age of 45 seems a difficult task altogether. When did the age relate to dentistry? If you have not used your dental resources of your body, Dental resources of your body means your neck and your back. I respect, being a female, you must have given birth to kids. I respect that part. But still, many of the females who are practicing 50, 55 plus, they all have gone through the same phase. But even you have not used the resources of your body, the neck and the back, you are fresh as a doodle. So why do you want to feel that you have not? If you have that closed mindset, you're not going to go ahead. You need to have a clarity here first. Once you have a clarity, then only progress will happen. Then getting consultants to practice and managing any patients with a consultant becomes too hectic, as it is one chair practice. Scheduling, appointment. When you are scheduling your consultants, make sure you schedule your patients not in that part or not in that time. I always advise colleagues, start with a 2-chair setup, or at least with a provision for a second chair. Chairs are not that expensive. Yes, if you want a high-end chair for your startup practice in a small space, both the chairs, then you're making a mistake. So you can have one basic chair, one high-end if you're starting off for youngsters. For you, because you are into so many years of practice, I would always say you can create a space somehow. If you can have a space for second chair, don't look for problems, look for solutions. You will always find so many. It's not that the chairs have to be linearly arranged. They can be internal partition, can be arranged in an L shape in a clinic. I've seen people working in 2 chairs very, very comfortably in a 100 square yard setup. Very, very comfortably. It is all about space planning. Take the help of an architect who can do a better space planning if you are not, say, willing to go through that path yourself. Then window shopping for patients for rates, as many new clinics opening up. We discussed that point in detail. Window shopping will always happen. Don't we do it? So your wife will attract your tribe. That's okay. If we do it, why do we feel bad when patients do it? Maintenance and repair of equipment in dental clinic, as it is a 12-year-old setup. The basics of every maintenance and repair should be known by every dentist. I'm not saying कि पूरा motherboard change करना आना चाहिए, but you should know at least how to change the chair bulb. You should know how to at least make the suction functional. If you have the normal Katani suction or any one, yes, some of the modernized suctions are too complex, but you should have the basic knack of a few things where you can cut out a shortcut. When you are dependent only on one chair, you will have frequent breakdowns for sure. When you have a split chair setup or means a 2-chair setup, you will automatically have half of the work being done on one chair. Again, nature's law. First you sow, then you reap. You think मैं पहले पैसा कमा लूं, फिर मैं चेयर लगाऊंगा, फिर मैं इन्वेस्ट करूंगा. You're going against the nature's law. Don't do that. Scenario number 2. I don't have my own clinic, but handle a clinic independently. The head doctor is himself an implantologist. My pain point, less OPD day by day. Patients comparing rates with neighboring dentists and asking for discounts. Reducing profit margins and thus no scope of increase in our salaries. As we know, the profit and loss of clinic, can't ask for a raise. In such a scenario, I have a second thought now on opening my own clinic, which is a dream. Now, if you are handling a clinic independently, how much is the time? If you have been doing that for a good time, why is the OPD decreasing? Have an inward journey into yourself. What are the mistakes that you have been committing? We start thinking that it is always the price part which makes our patients go away. It's not. I've said it umpteen times, it's not. We need to realize it's not the price only. There are a lot of other things. Your communication skills may not be good. Your convincing skills may not be good. Your case presentation may not be good. You may not be very confident of presenting the things. That may be the cause of non-conversion. And ultimately, non-conversion leads to less OPD. When you're busy the whole day, sometimes you don't even realize that how many new OPDs came in, 1 or 2. If you have your appointments full, you just worry about your back and neck, which is aching at the end of the day. But if you're free and your appointments are not converting, and slowly there will be a phase when you just rely only on walk-in patients. Again, what is your mode of marketing? Again, it is not about the paid part always. It is not only about that you are not in charge, that always. So reducing profit margins because you are proving susceptible to bargaining. You're doing that and digging a grave for yourself. You can't ask for a raise because you have not given the returns. That is your own guilt factor. If this is your guilt factor, then you need to correct yourself first. Find out the things which are causing that thing. It does not mean that if you have not given returns enough, you can't ask for a raise. The only thing is हम लोग वेले बैठ के आ जाते हैं, खाली बैठ के आते हैं, हम कैसे बोले डॉक्टर को कि ऐसे है वैसे है. There might be reasons other than this. Have an inward journey. You'll find so many. And trust me, job will still be a job. Being an entrepreneur is a blessing. Being a self-employed clinician is a blessing. Only a few privileged ones get it and get to enjoy it. That is the only thing. Scenario number 3. Unable to grow practice by buying and upgrading to new products, as I'm not the owner, hence can't apply what I update. 2 government clinics nearby, a charity clinic within 100 meters, and another bad mouthing and undercutting but poor quality multi-chair clinic nearby. Understaffed and present staff, although very experienced, is bossy and bad attitude. Also, owner refuses to believe or take action because of her embezzlement history. Embezzlement of funds, I mean here. So lack of ability to apply high-end treatments because of poor patients. A recent corporate chain with about 15 crores investment has started nearby that does free consultation. Of course, there are a few more. Let's stick to first these. So if you are willing to grow your practice, why don't you start your own practice if you are able to handle your own OPD? I'm sure finances must not be a reason if you are handling the things since so many years and earning well. And trust me, this is not an excuse. 2 government clinics nearby, charity clinic nearby, corporate chain nearby. These are not excuses. These are not excuses. Just get across my clinic. There is a Gurudwara, in which is a charitable clinic housed, which does almost treatments at 1/10 of what I charge, and it is little less old. My clinic is into 23rd year. They are into 20th year of practice. And the doctor who's working there is also 16 or 17 years plus into there at the same job. So, did I reduce my charges? I am increasing them annually. वो केस खराब करते हैं, केस मेरे पास आता है. That's it. Very nearby, not much far out, maybe 200 meters. This was across the road. There is a mandir. There are 2 mandirs. Both of them have OPD. One of them is very close by. The head priest, Pujari ji, of that mandir, who gets a free treatment in there, who doesn't have to pay a penny, is coming to me since the past 15 plus years, paying me and getting his treatment done. And not only he, his family also. These are all excuses that you have to do. People will always look out for people or dentists who will give them solutions, who will deal with their problems, pain points effectively. I am dealing with your pain points. If you deal with somebody else literally pain points in their teeth, in their dentition, you are going to dig a hole in their pocket that they are going to pay you. So firstly, stop giving yourself these excuses. 2 nearby हैं तो उसलिए मैं नहीं चलता. मेरे तो 3 nearby हैं. एक 400 मीटर पे है, एक डेड क्रॉस है, एक 200 मीटर पे है. 3. उसके अलावा भी बहुत कुछ है. उसके अलावा एक डिस्पेंसरी है half a kilometer from here. तो 4 तो मेरे पास भी हो गए. Corporate chain is 1.5 kilometer from my place. Plus there are 18 people in my area. उन 18 में से 17 मेरे ग्रुप्स में भी हैं, मेरे प्रैक्टिस मैनेजमेंट के ग्रुप्स में भी हैं. They're listening to what I'm saying. They're reading what I'm saying. So stop giving. बहुत सारे लोग इसलिए अपने पेन पॉइंट से अपनी प्रॉब्लम नहीं डिस्कस करते, पर्सनल में डालते हैं. सर मेरे एरिया का डेंटिस्ट बैठा है, उसको पता लग जाएगा if I post that I have that problem. Why? Why are you afraid? It's all about facing the mirror yourself, guys. If it makes sense, type MS in the chat box. If it makes sense to you. So stop giving yourself these excuses. These do not make a difference. They may temporarily. अब लोग बोलते हैं लाल सिंह चड्डा फ्लॉप हो गई बिकॉज बायकॉट हो गया था. बॉयकॉट पीके का भी हुआ था. कुछ हुआ? इस बार करीना ने बोला नहीं देखनी मत देखो. उस वक्त आमिर ने बोला था. You have people showing you all footages of the past PK interview with Raju Hirani and Amir Khan saying, and he was boldly saying, "नहीं देखना मत देखो, no problem." Did it stop PK from almost nearing 300 plus crores, or rather more than 300 crores? No, because it was a good product. Boycott may have made a difference of 1 to 2 to 3%, but overall speaking, it was a bad product. That is the reason it did not run. Boycott may have added as a fuel to the fire, but it does not mean that a boycott was successful in doing that. The whole Bollywood boycotted the Kashmir Files. It almost touched 250 plus crores. It was a good product. Again, not at the cost of any bias, just trying to make you understand a good thing will eventually find its place. A good thing will eventually find its place, provided you are willing to change, you are willing to accept the realities. Lack of ability to apply high-end treatments. If you are in somebody else's space, I'm sure you don't have a control over the marketing aspects. If you don't have that control, you cannot change your type of patients. Then what do? We do nothing. We just wait and watch. Then about the corporate chain who's doing marketing undercutting too because of one of their marketing points. Imagine you are doing so much research about your neighbors. वो ऐसा है, वो पुअर क्वालिटी है, वो अंडरकटिंग कर रहा है, ये फ्री कंसल्टेशन कर रहा है, ये इतना कुछ कर रहा है. You are focusing so much on their W's. Where is the time to focus on your S? SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. If you have problems, they are your opportunities. Understand? Focus on your strength rather than others' weaknesses. If those guys had a weakness, then according to you, they would not be doing good than you. If those guys had weaknesses, as you said, then they would be doing better than you. Does it have a bulb on movement with all of you? Type BO in the chat box if it gives you a bulb on movement. आप खुद बोल रहे हो कि वो अच्छा कर रहे हैं, वो ज्यादा कर रहे हैं, इसलिए मैं बुरा कर रहा हूं. So does that make any sense? Understand. Owner had promised to hand over clinic to me after 4 years, but now that 6 years have passed, OPD and collection has increased greatly, but he refuses to do so. Now, on one hand, you were saying you were not having conversions, not applying because of poor patients. Now you are yourself saying OPD and collection has increased greatly. The clarity is not there. You need to understand where are you making a fault, where are you making a mistake. Embezzlement of the staff, yes, some people do it, some people know it कि मेरा स्टाफ चोरी कर रहा है. They understand कि कोई बात नहीं, मार्केटिंग वाले स्पेशली बिजनेस में मार्केटिंग वाले करते हैं, सेल्स वाले चोरी कर रहे हैं. They understand. चल यार कोई बात नहीं, 10-20 हजार की चोरी कर रहा है, मेरे को 2 लाख का काम भी तो लाके दे रहे हैं. They ignore that and then ultimately they fall and trap to certain things. Me and wife practicing 400 kilometers away from our hometown. Wife is getting good experience in her specialty working in a hospital, but my family is settled abroad and they want me to relocate there or to hometown. I told you already at the start, at the first pain point only. Your first priority should be your own clinic. You're handling it well. You're doing it since past 6 years. It's time that you open up your own clinic. Why are you dependent on someone else's clinic? Why are you having those pain points and increasing your blood pressure and making yourself prone to diabetes? Why? Ask yourself. Now, scenario number 4. Clinic is on rent, hence insecurity is always there. If it is on rent, do a contract with the landlord. डू अ रजिस्टर्ड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट विद द लैंडलॉर्ड के कम से कम 10 साल तुम मेरे को उठा नहीं सकते, जो क्लॉजेज हैं ठीक है कर लो, हर साल 5%, 7%, 10%, वट एवर द रेज इज देयर, एग्री टू दैट। इनसिक्योरिटी ये है कि उसने अगर रेंट ज्यादा बढ़ा दिया तो मेरे को निकलना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज ही विल सी दैट आई एम डूइंग वेल। It is all those fears inside us which don't let us grow. Understand? Can't find a good associate dentist. The recent pass-outs have zero knowledge and skill, but expect high remuneration. They also feel doing an assistant's work is demeaning. Now, first thing, stop criticizing your colleagues. That is the basic aspect. Don't judge them based on one procedure or two procedures that we have told them to do. Performance under pressure does not happen for everyone. When I was speaking on stage, I faltered at least 5 times. Rahul Dravid had a colossally bad start to his career. Did that make him a bad batsman? He is the only one who is known as the Great Wall of Indian cricket. Saurav Ganguly debuted with a century in Lords in England. Lords or England, whatever. But Dravid had a bad start. Did that make him a bad batsman? No. He is the only one who is known as the Great Wall of Indian cricket. So imagine if they have not been able to perform once, twice, thrice, 4 times. You have made your judgment already by then. And then if there is a batch of 60 or 100 in a dental college, did all 100 come to you? Maybe one, maybe two, maybe one or two from somewhere else. Maybe they were really bad students of their batch. So you passed on a judgment for the whole batch. For the whole batch, for one or two procedures, I'm sure you would not have given them at least 5 chances also. Don't make your judgments regarding colleagues. They may open up a clinic one day near you and start doing much better than you in coming years. Then you will say, आता है तो कुछ है नहीं, मेरे पास आया था काम मांगने, मैंने दिया नहीं, अब पता नहीं क्या करके लोगों को फंसा के कमा रहा है. This is an actuality. A senior dentist of my area says this thing about a couple of junior colleagues in our area. Now, I always say this thing. Of course, I've used this in this line to explain you, but I never use the word senior and junior. I avoid using them as much as possible. We are all peers in profession and we need to respect each other. अगर उसी नोशन में जीते रहेंगे ना, हम लोग सीनियर हैं, आप लोग जूनियर हो, हम लोग इतना करके आए हैं, हम लोगों ने सेक्शन पकड़ी है 2 साल, तब जाके हम लोग सीखे हैं. You took the long way, they are taking the expressway. Times have changed. We belong to the landline era, they are the Instagram era guys. So that's okay. Does not mean that they also have to go through the same grind. Again, I am not saying they are more capable than you. I'm just saying you don't pass your judgment based on 1, 2, or 3 instances of a couple of students of one batch, which may have 100 students. Don't disrespect them, and don't disrespect their journey also. So, due to the above point, the entire workload is on me. It gets stressful sometimes. It will get it, because if you are the best in your area, if you are the best in every area, every aspect of your clinic, you will surely find no one capable enough, and you will be trapped in that trap of self-employment. Self-employment is a trap. If you can't delegate, if you can't defer, if you can't delete things from your life and have only do, then you will end up with stress only. The work-life balance has to be respected. Clinic is a part of your life. Clinic is not your whole life. You may devote 8, 9, 10 max hours. Even that is more. 8 to 9 is good enough. Devote those hours. But there are 15, 16 other hours as well other than this, in which you have to sleep, which you have to eat, you have to rest, you have to recreate, you have to spend time with family, and do your life tasks. There are so many things. And those 16 hours are the majority. 8 hours is a minority in that sense. Then hesitant to upgrade from single chair practice to multi-chair due to above reasons. Just because I don't get good associates, so I will not. Once I get a good associate, then I will increase my clinic from single chair to multi-chair. Again, you are disrespecting the nature's law, which I've already discussed. I would go into that. First you sow, then you reap. Respect the law. Inability to convert high value cases. कहां से आएगी? सारे काम ही आपने करने तो आप कहां से करोगे? You are the best, so you will do everything. अपनी सफाई वाली को भी हटा दो, पोछे भी खुद लगाया करो क्लिनिक में. If that is appealing enough. वो पोछे ठीक नहीं लगाती, सफाई ठीक नहीं करती, कल से पोछे भी आप लगाना. Don't get me wrong, but you are falling deeper and deeper into the trap of self-employment. Then scenario number 5. Being a mother of 2, have to juggle between clinic and kids. Don't have enough time to do anything extra than taking patients in the clinic. Neither can I take up kids' study regularly. Still not able to implement your teachings in my clinic even after renewing your courses. Although I have good patient flow, I can't do much of savings. I have so many liabilities. पैसा एक हाथ से आता है और दूसरे हाथ से चले जाते हैं. I want to invest in so many dental equipments, but fall short of funds and keep postponing the plans. I'm nearing 40. I stay in a joint family. Desperately want to have my own house. मेरी दुखती रग. Live my life on my terms and conditions. But my present income and expenses, it seems like a long distant dream. This is very frustrating. Now, if you are living in a joint family, that is a boon for you. You may not be able to give time to your kids' studies. I'll come to that part. But you don't have to take care of your kids. In a joint family, the kids are taken care by so many elders in the family, so many other members of the family. Think of those aspects if you are in a nuclear family, and you have to take care of these aspects also. Again, I'm not in any ways comparing that nuclear family is bad, joint is good, or vice versa. I'm just making you show the other side of your दुखती रग, कि दूसरी साइड पे ज्यादा दुखती रग हो सकती है. It can be more painful the other side. What you feel right now as your pain point can be literally a piercing pain point on the other side. So the problem is, if you're not able to implement your teaching, my teaching, the problem is, again, I said last week also, knowledge cholesterol. Action taking requires courage. It requires to move out of your comfort zone. My mentor used to say, suffer the pain of growth or continue to have suffering in the comfort zone. Suffer to, if you want to grow, you have to go through the grind. So as they say, if it is hurting, if it is paining, then it means it is growing. Did this statement hit with you? If it did, type hit in the chat box. If it is hurting, if it is paining, it means it is growing. It is not my statement, it's one of my mentor's statement. If it hit you somewhere. Action taking will require a courage. It will require moving you out of your comfort zone to face the unknown. And once you face the unknown, you know that you are in that unfamiliar arena where you not have been before. You will feel hurt. You will have some bruises. But that is fine. That is a sign of growth. पैसा एक हाथ से आता है, चले जाता है. That means you are not doing budgeting well. What are the leakages in your ship? That your ship has become a Titanic. Ask yourself. Go through your expenses. If you are not doing it, start from today. Start writing your expenses. Have an idea where you are burning a hole in your pocket, which is leaking from your ship. Understand that. So, if you are in that situation where you are doing good in your practice, you will automatically find time for your kids. When you are unhappily doing the practice, और ये एक myth है 8 घंटे 10 घंटे काम करना. Some people do 5 to 6 hours of practice in my town and they earn way more because they charge more. क्रेडिबिलिटी बनाइए. 4-6 घंटे 8 घंटे नहीं करना, 4 या 6 घंटे काम करना. गो अवे. सुबह 10-11 बजे खोलते हैं, 2 बजे घर, शाम को 5 बजे आते हैं, 7 बजे घर. This is the way people do in my town, and they are not very senior, and they are not very senior also. Maybe lesser than me also, some of them. Maybe more than me, of course, in age factor. I am 45. Will be 46 next month. But this is the way things go. People do it. You understand, if you are doing those 5 to 6 to 7 or whatever hours you want to put happily, then you have contentment, satisfaction, then inner happiness will be there and rest everything will fall into place. वो dissatisfaction होती है ना, 10 घंटे काम करके भी उतनी कमाई नहीं होती है, तो क्या करें? That resentment feeling. मेरी तो किस्मत ही खराब है, भगवान ने मेरी किस्मत लिखते हुए पता नहीं छुट्टी ले ली थी. All those things. We'll keep on doing that. So pain points is about finding hope amid your life's difficulties. So but at this juncture, I want to summarize the previous 2.5 sessions and I want to set a roadmap for the future problems. And today the attendance is less than the previous 2 sessions. Maybe Janmashtami, maybe night, maybe clinic, whatever. Again, it is a lack of prioritization. When you know about this session since Sunday, you could have easily taken out 1 hour, 1.5 hour. So let me set the base for the upcoming problems and give you a gist of where the problem lies. Problems exist in the previous guys. So as I said, I'll be discussing about the 7 foundational activities for any stable and successful business. So number 1 is marketing, the visibility factor, the sales, which we call in dentistry as the conversion, the operations, which is the actual treatment. Of course, these are business terminologies. I've adapted them to the dental clinic scenario. The R&D, which is the differentiation in our practice. Then accounts, financing, HR, human resource, staff problems, staff management, and above all, the best management, which is needed more and more as you get busier. You need to spend more time at the back end, managing things when you get busier rather than at the front end, managing everything yourself from 1 to 6. That means delegating things very, very clearly. Let's take all of them briefly one by one. What is marketing? Marketing is basically lead generation. I talked about this factor in the previous session, session number 2. People always complain less OPD, lack of footfall, patient नहीं आते, तो बैठे हो clinic में कहाँ से आएंगे अपने आप? If you have leads flowing in organic way, then followed by the paid or the inorganic way, the offline networking associated with that. When you don't have a dearth of patients, when you have footfall happening because of the continuous leads being generated, you will not complain on this aspect. As I said, when you have conversions happening regularly, see, just try to connect the dots together now. If you have good conversions happening, you stay busy because of the treatment, because we are not like a MBBS or you can say the other medical colleagues who can see even up to 100 patients a day. Full day practice वाला minimum 50 तो देख ही सकता है ना आराम से. Unless you're into a very super specialty practice where you like to spend a lot of time. But for a general practitioner, minimum 50 is the bare minimum. We don't need that much number. We need 6, 7, 8, 9 max if you're doing yourself. If you're having an associate practice, maybe 20, 25 is a good number with a 3 to 4 chair setup. Because ultimately it will all boil down to you paying attention also to the work associates are doing. You are not handling all those 25 patients, but you are handling all 25 satisfaction points at least. And what we do, we keep on sitting in the clinic with the setup and we keep on cursing God, we keep on waiting. मेरे 4 पेशेंट बहुत अच्छे गए थे, उन्होंने word of mouth किया ही नहीं है. Now when I tell people, please give me a feedback, you all have a, how many speak? Not even 1% in the group. बोलता हूं अगर पेन पॉइंट में कुछ अच्छा लगा फीडबैक डाल दो, 2 लाइनें लिखने में सबकी जान निकलती है. तो लिखना है, किसी की तारीफ करनी है. आप चाहते हो सारी दुनिया आपकी तारीफ करे, मैं तो कहता भी नहीं तारीफ करो, मैं तो कहता हूं बुरा हो तो वो भी बताओ, ब्रिक पैट्स भी बताओ, नॉट ओनली बुकेज. लेकिन आपको लिखना, आपको तकलीफ होती है. और अगर मैं बोलने को बोल दूं, प्लीज गिव अ वर्बल फीडबैक, प्लीज गिव अ वीडियो टेस्टिमोनियल, पंजाबी में बोलते फिर तो माई मर जाती है. नॉट लिटरली, प्लीज डोंट टेक मी रॉन्ग, बट दिस इज अ प्रोवर्ब वी यूज इन पंजाबी कि आफत पड़ गई जान को दूरी से माई मर जाती है, लाइक दैट. So this is the way. If you can't do it, you expect your patients to do the same for you. Remember, your environment is stronger than your willpower. What you do to your customers, they're going to do the same to you. Or you will attract the kind of customers or patients the way you are. Your patient is a reflection of your capabilities. So depending upon word of mouth is unhealthy, unprofessional. Only. I mean depending alone on word of mouth. So treat it like a bonus. आ गया तो ठीक, नहीं आया तो कोई problem. So that means what? You have to be proactive and consistent in marketing. And never, ever, 3 times I've said, start with paid marketing directly unless you have an organic base setup. Told in the previous session in detail, have that part. I'll deal with this in 4th and 5th also in the content marketing part. That is why I'm making a linkage. Now, the second thing after marketing is the sale. Sale is the revenue generation where the actual conversion is happening. So once leads are there, leads means so many walk-ins are there. What did I tell you is the ideal conversion ratio out of 100? How many remember? Put it in the chat box. What is the ideal conversion ratio out of 100? Put it in the chat box. Great to see so many of you replying. 72. This is the ideal conversion ratio, 72. That means 28 may not be your patients, but then depending upon your communication skill set, you may be having not 70. 72 तो average है ना. अब किसी बैट्समैन की एवरेज 50 है तो इसका मतलब थोड़ा ना कि हर इनिंग्स में 50 बनाएगा, तो किसी में 0 भी बनाएगा, किसी में 100 भी बनाएगा, एवरेज 50 पड़ गई ना, like that. So some of you may be having a low average, not 72. अब सचिन की एवरेज अगर 50 है, let's suppose, या विराट की एवरेज 50 है, तो does not mean कि जडेजा की भी उतनी होएगी, does not mean कि दिनेश कार्तिक की भी उतनी होएगी. Would be a tad less. It's not कि उनमें स्किल की कमी है. It may be leading to the position where they bat. What does that mean? More opportunities to the top order, less opportunities to the lower order. अब इसमें हम कैसे इसको कोरिलेट कर सकते हैं? Sitting on the front road, prime location, sitting in the back seat, poor location comparatively than the prime location. So comparatively less leads flowing in, less walk-ins automatically seeing your board. Understand? Try to make a correlation, try to connect the dots. Forget that point. Now, this is where the actual revenue generation happens. Sales takes over from marketing. Once you have good leads flowing in, once footfall is there, your actual conversion part starts. That is where communication skills, conversion skills come in. How confidently you convey. अब अगर आप में से बहुत लोगों ने मेरे साथ वर्कशॉप करी है, अगर मेरी एवरेज 25-30 होते हैं वर्कशॉप में, एवरेज एक वर्कशॉप में पार्टिसिपेंट्स, अगर मैं बोलूं ना एंड ऑफ द वर्कशॉप प्लीज गिव मी वीडियो टेस्टिमोनियल, 1 या 2 लोग देते हैं. फीडबैक चाहे 29-30 में से मेरे को 20-22 लोग दे देते हैं, 7-8 वो भी नहीं देते हैं. आई स्पेंड 1 month विद देम. कंसेंट वालों के साथ तो 1.5 महीना 5 हफ्ते लगते हैं. 6 हफ्ते बाद भी उनको 2 लाइनें लिखने में तकलीफ होती है. मेरे को क्या फर्क पड़ता है? मेरे को क्या फर्क पड़ता है? I'm already knowing what I'm doing. I just want to correct myself. So आप ये इतना नहीं कर सकते हैं and you expect the patients to do that. So जब आप ये चीज की प्रैक्टिस ही नहीं करेंगे बोलने की, फीडबैक देने की, how do you expect to convey things confidently? कौन से आपके रोज डेक्लेमेशन कॉन्टेस्ट होते हैं स्कूल में? आई मीन स्कूल में जैसे होते थे, कौन से क्लिनिक में होते हैं? क्लिनिक में तो भी ओनली वन थिंग, बॉस लेक्चर देना आता है बस स्टाफ को, अपन को. सो इफ यू आर नॉट प्रैक्टिसिंग कन्वेइंग ऑफ योर कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स, conveying of your speech modulation, knowing where to put a stress upon and where not to, where to lower your tone, where to modulate your tone, giving examples, all these things. If it makes sense, type MS in the chat box. If you're not doing these things, why do you expect results then? Now, once the leads are there, the sales takes over from there. The conversion happens because that is the actual pain, or you can say selling point or the revenue generation point. Now, sales is dependent upon one. हम बोलते conversion नहीं हुई. अरे 10 लोग देखे हैं, उनमें से convert अगर 7 भी नहीं हुए, आपकी conversion 5 है, तो 5 को अगले 5 दिन के लिए ट्रीट करोगे तो उसके बाद फ्री खाली हो गए. आप नए नहीं आ रहे हैं तो what does it need? Constant lead generation. तो हम लोग कन्वर्जन की बात करते हैं. इफ यू don't have leads, who are you going to sell to? No one. Lack of footfall भी हम लोग बोलते हैं. एक तरफ बोलते हैं पैसे भी बढ़ रहे हैं, फुटफॉल भी नहीं है, कन्वर्जन भी नहीं है. क्या नहीं है? क्लैरिटी नहीं है यहाँ पे. क्लैरिटी नहीं है यहाँ पे. 45 people in the room. I told you to type 12 or 13 type. Make sense, bulb on, whatever, 12, 13 type. See yourself. कई लोगों ने ऑन करके छोड़ दिया हुआ, कुछ और कर रहे हैं बैठे, या पेशेंट से बात कर रहे हैं. So many times I see this thing. वीडियो ऑफ होने का क्या मतलब हो जाता है? कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं. Your choice. Does not make any difference to me. Now, marketing and sales are not same thing. They are two different sciences. Absolutely different. मार्केटिंग की अलग से MBA आती है. पूरी की पूरी MBA मैंने की हुई है मार्केटिंग की MBA. So I can tell you how painful it was. It is not an easy subject to learn. Of course, in those times I'm talking 2005, 6, 7. It was not an easy time. Today, so you can't even think of it, because today the social media marketing has taken big time, and all the old concepts are almost obsolete now. अब companies क्या करती हैं? We at least are not doing this thing, but companies do what? Sales के लिए बंदा रखा हुआ है. अच्छा आज फ्री हो, एक काम करो, तुम मार्केटिंग करो. क्या करोगे? कोल्ड कॉलिंग, कोल्ड मेलिंग, कोल्ड डोर टू डोर कॉल्स. तुम आज मार्केटिंग करो. मेरा काम नहीं है, मैं करूंगा. चलो, व्हाट विल डू? जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ इट कि वो फ्री ना बैठ जाए, कर लो. व्हाट विल हैपन? स्लो एंड लो रिजल्ट्स. इवन दो दे मे बी वर्किंग हार्ड बिकॉज इट इज नॉट देयर एक्सपर्टीज. हमारा अपना फेथ और कॉन्फिडेंस रिड्यूस हो जाता है इसके बाद. So getting what becomes our mindset? Patients आजकल करना बहुत मुश्किल है. मार्केट बहुत चैलेंजिंग हो गया है. धंधा बहुत मंदा है. Because relying only on 20% of your word of mouth. 80% is a lead generation which you're not even tapping into. Understand, there is a difference between these two things. When you add value in people's life, this is marketing. When you make a difference in their lives by creating values. When you're promoting your product or service or converting, it is sales. When you do both the things. अब मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ. Somebody creates a WhatsApp group. 250 लोग ऐड कर दिए उसने सुबह, अब तो 500 ऐड हो जाते हैं. सुबह सुबह उठे, you were added by a person who is not in your contacts. सुबह सुबह देखते हो, अच्छा खोलते हो ग्रुप, ओ हो 500, 250 जितने भी ऐड किए थे उसमें से 100 तो लेफ्ट कर चुके हैं. तो हुआ क्या? Somebody added you, and the simple thing. See, I am into selling of these this and this products, or these are my products. This is my selling line. Please buy from me. Please contact on the view number for the orders. what will be your first reaction to such a WhatsApp group? What will you do? What will you do? Type in the chat box. What will you do? I'm asking you guys, what will you do to such a group? Leave, ignore, exit, ignore, tata, utter discontent, leave and exit, ignore. Great. So you will feel, अरे यार ना मैं तेरे को जानता ना कुछ, why I am getting into this? Please, बख्श दे यार सुबह सुबह. Now imagine the same scenario. The same person, or maybe one of your contacts, adds into WhatsApp group. I'll give you an example here. Let's think that he is selling cotton, you can say copper utensils. So he adds into that group, buy from this. You exit and leave and ignore whatever you do. Now, the same second situation, this guy gets up and adds a video. Guys, I'm posting a video where you will get the advantages of using the copper utensils. It'll increase your digestion, it'll increase your this, all those effects. Next week, he posts another video or a text message detailing about these things. He continues to do that for 6-7 weeks. Now you get interested in that. Yes, he is creating a value, he's creating an awareness. And at the end of 7 or 8 weeks, he says, I've told you about cotton, about the copper utensils advantages. So this is my contact number. If you're interested in buying, I am dealing in selling also. Now, what will happen? There will always be 5 to 10 negative, cynical people who will always say, अच्छा, ये पिछले 7 हफ्ते से इसलिए हो रहा था, ड्रामा था, तुमने बेचना था. These are the negative or cynical people who will not leave God also in mandirs and gurdwaras. They will criticize there also. If somebody has added a value and he's doing a selling after that, what is wrong in that? Now compare the same to a clinical or a dentist scenario. You have done a paid ad without any organic base, without any, you can say, validation proof, without any landing page or any call to action thing. You have done an ad and you expect the patient to click and, hi, मेरे को appointment दे दो clinic में, whitening करानी है, 6 implant कराने हैं और भी बहुत कुछ कराना है, please दे दो time. और पैसे बता दो please, मैं 2-3 लाख पहले दे दूंगा, whatever. Does it happen? No. The reverse happens. 50,000 खर्चा था, 4 lead आए. The money is burnt because you have no social validation. You have not added a value in people's lives. Again, I'll repeat the line. Nobody will buy from you the first time they come across you online. This is the gist of your paid ads. Remember that. You have a website, you have a validation thing, you have a testimonial, you have feedback posted over there. Then people know, yes, अच्छा इतने feedback है, इसका मतलब है. You come across a restaurant on Zomato who's offering damn cheap rates. You first get conscious. यार पता नहीं ढंग की चीज बेच भी रहा है कि नहीं. Let me go back down and see the reviews first. How is he doing? Good food, excellent service, quick delivery, damn cheap rates, but no compromise on quality. The moment you read this line, you order it. This is where it makes a difference. You have a validation proof. Understand that mindset. Understand that mindset. If it was a bulb on movement for you, type BO in the chat box. So don't live your life based on these 5 to 10 to 15% of negative, cynical people. They will always have something to see, something to say. But look at the people you want to add value to the life, to whom you add value to their lives. So now operations. This is the example. You can say this is the process which we do for our business. A business may have a 9 set of operations like a raw material purchase, logistics, function, service, delivery, whatever. But for a doctor like us, it is different. It may be appointment booking, admin area, consultation, diagnosis, prescription, follow-up after consultation. Depends upon the system of practice you have. So understand this point, that the basics of management are applicable to every function. It can be slight here and there, but overall they do make a difference. Okay. Then goal is that all of these should have that bottom line is to provide, to create value in people's life and happiness for them and yourself both, because this is what decides the success. If you have inconsistent marketing, you will have inconsistent sales, you will have inconsistent operations. अगर पेशेंट ही नहीं आया, कन्वर्जन किसका होगा और ट्रीट किसको करोगे? Understand? Type now, if you find the dots joining, type DJ dots joining in the chat box. These three are the core functions of any business. Unfortunately, we deal only with the operations part. We look at only the operations part. And these two, marketing and sales, are interrelated to each other. Then R&D. There are some pain points which I'll be discussing, of course, in the next session. So, which say, I am doing this thing, my patients say you're doing the same, I'm having constantly same OPD, same type of money, I'm getting bored. Why? Because you are not having any differentiation factor. You are not evolving yourself, you're doing the same age-old GV Black dentistry. Or as I said, the composite approach, CUMPOJIT. That is how people pronounce raises in tier 2, tier 3 centers. Even tier 1 also, many of them. Composite approach. मैंने तो composite अच्छा सा लिया था, घटिया सारे composite. This is the way dentists speak. You are not evolving yourself. If you don't have a differentiation factor, how are you going to attract new customers? You are 10 people sitting in one area, 20 people sitting in one area. Why would the patient choose you for a routine profile access or a filling or a restoration? Old people will continue to buy, but your new services will add to your billing value. Okay, doc, you introduce this thing. Keep on evolving. I'll give my example here. I give it very openly. I don't claim to be the best. I would never. In my coaching arena, I'm not the best practice management coach in India. I'm not the best legal ethics consultant in India. I'm not the best financial trainer in India. But I'm a dentist who's having these three factors. If you have 10 points of evaluation for each criteria, I may be scoring 7 out of them, each of them maybe. I'm not worse, but I'm maybe in the average range. But then 7 into 4 is 28. I scored 28 out of 40. Somebody who's a practice management coach may be knowing a little bit about finance. So he scores high on practice management, maybe 9, 9.5, but he scores 3 on finance. He scores 1 or 2 on ethics. He may be scoring again decently on, you can say, the dentist front, 7 to 8. His total again comes out to be less than 20 or close to 20. Similarly, for a finance, he may be the CA. He may be getting 10 out of 10 in that space. But for ethics and management, 0. Or maybe 1 each. Then he's not a dentist. 0. What is the total score out of 40? 12, 13, 14. So even by being the average, you can be overall winner in your streams if you have a differentiation factor. And I say it openly. I may not be the best in these three arenas. A lawyer may be the best in medical legal ethics. A CA may be the best, or the financial planner may be the best in finance. Any practice management guru, self-acclaimed gurus, I don't call myself the guru also, maybe the best in this space. But what I offer is all under one space. And I say that openly, I'm the only one in India who's doing all these three together, who makes a link of all these three together and conveys it to colleagues. Whether you believe it or not, whether you accept it or not, whether I'm the best or not, I still score heavily, 28 out of 40. And I'm being honest about it. So this is the way you have to create your differentiators. It does not always pay to be the best in your area. Even you can be average and still earn more than the best in your area. If statement makes sense, type MS in the chat box. We always strive to be the best. Being a perfectionist is a myth. Be okay with shabby success. Perfectionism is nothing but pulling the rug under your foot. We live in that myth. Perfectly करना है सब कुछ. एंड वो परफेक्ट के चक्कर में हम लोग स्टार्ट ही नहीं करते. वीडियो बनाने को बोला एक पेशेंट को अवेयरनेस के लिए, नहीं सर मुझे तो कैमरे में शर्म आती है. मुझे भी आती थी 2 साल पहले यार. मैं तो फोटो खिंचवाता नहीं था. डिजिटल छोड़ो, वो जो फिल्म वाला होता था ना, रोल वाला कैमरा 36 का 24 का, हमने तो वो भी टाइम देखा है. वो उसमें भी नहीं खिंचवाता था मैं. वेस्ट हो जाएगा, रहने दो. आई एम नॉट फोटोजेनिक. आई एम डूइंग इट. I could not speak a line in front of anyone 2.5 years back. I started this. Do you find anything such in my speech now? I was having a slurring of speech. खतला के बोलता था बचपन में. Do you find that in my speech now? It all comes with the practice. I'm still not the best in my area, but I'm still effective. That is what makes a difference. So be okay with success. Start off. गंदा वीडियो बनाओ ताकि पता तो लगे ना कि मैंने पहला ये बनाया था. Version 1 is better than version none. Create your version 1 today. 1 create करोगे तभी इंप्रूवमेंट होगी ना. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then financing part. Finance requires accuracy, compliance and reporting. You need to capture all data. Of course, हमारे GST, TDS नहीं है उस तरह का, but as a business owner, as a, you can say, a clinician, entrepreneur, we need to understand the taxation part very clearly, the costing part very clearly. If we are not doing that, we are committing a mistake. Because वो लीकेज कहां से होगी ना पता नहीं लगेगा. हम लोग जीपीएम एनपीएम कैलकुलेट करते हैं ना, देखते हैं वाओ इतना अच्छा अर्न किया, ये हमारा लैब का खर्चा या मटेरियल का खर्चा. Those who have watched my GPM NPM videos, they will know कितने बड़े बड़े होल्स हैं आपके प्रॉफिटेबल वेंचर में भी. एंड अगर जीपीएम एनपीएम देखने के बाद वो वीडियोस बनाए थे मैंने कि मैं देखूं, आज जीपीएम एनपीएम वाज हेवीली व्यूड वीडियो, फिर भी उसके आज 800-900 हजार व्यूज हैं. इट इज अ पिटी दैट 1500 लोग हमारी कम्युनिटी में उन्होंने भी नहीं देखा पूरा. खैर उनमें से बहुत सारे तो मेंबर भी नहीं है यूट्यूब चैनल के, बट दिस इज जस्ट बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग जिन्होंने कितनी बार देखा. तो 800-900 व्यूज उस वीडियो के शायद मल्टीपल व्यूज ऐड करके. पीपल डोंट वांट टू लर्न. You don't have an idea of your cash flow, profit, or not. Where will you know you're bleeding from? Where will you know you're bleeding from? कौन सा होल है आपके टाइटैनिक में, कैसे पता लगेगा? Then HR, staffing part. Of course, I'm going to take that part in the fourth factor, जो support pain points है ना, उसमें staffing का बहुत सारा कुछ लेने वाला हूँ मैं. But hiring right people for the right job at the right time. This was a topic I took up on the 30th June mini day of education day 1 session also. जब मैंने आपको जेडी बनाने को दिया था, 21-22 लोगों ने बनाया था 1500 में से, जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन डॉक्यूमेंट. सो सम ऑफ यू क्रिएटेड इट, दैट वाज योर वर्जन 1. पता ही नहीं है करना क्या है स्टाफ से. यू स्टार्ट टेकिंग दोस एक्टिविटीज फॉर ग्रांटेड. अगेन नेचर्स लॉ कम्स हियर, फर्स्ट सो शैल यू रीप. यू डोंट ग्रो बिकॉज you have people, but you have people so you grow. Have that statement, have that clarity in your mind. Training and mentoring system for your staff. Always बोलते हैं ना, staff retention के 4 factors होते हैं. Staff should get a financial growth, career growth. We discussed this in the past session, previous session number 2 of pain points. कितनों ने BLS training दी अपने staff को? 99% of you said no. Work-life balance, overtime, and the 4th part, respect and care. ये कुछ लोग दे देते हैं, ये कुछ और दे देते हैं, ये चलो कुछ और दे देते हैं, ये सब लोग नहीं देते हैं. ये चारों में से सबसे लीस्ट गिवन एस्पेक्ट है, बिकॉज वी हैव अ टेंडेंसी इन अवर माइंड की जितना हम लोग बॉसी रहेंगे उतना स्टाफ सही रहेगा. The moment we try to turn friendly with them, they'll bloody get out of their औकात. We use that word. इनको इनकी औकात दिखाना जरूरी है. As if let it be. आज की डेट में आपका बच्चा आपकी गाली नहीं सुनता, आपका स्टाफ क्यों सुनेगा? आपने खरीद नहीं लिया उनको. They will feel what have I advantage by going to that workplace where you daily blame your team and still go to the same workplace. तुम लोग सब निकम्मे हो. Yes, you are the best. ये सारे काम खुद ही कर लो, स्टाफ रखा क्यों है? It is like a meaningless marriage where you are the spouse, you are the husband, and you are the wife. So what can you do? You say go FFFF yourself. That way. So don't go on blaming the staff always. If you point one finger at them, three fingers are pointing towards you. When you think of a monthly survivor, think of the other person who thinks of growth. So monthly survival पे जीना है कि growth पे जीना है, it's your mindset. When you try to do all things by yourself, that is the trap of self-employment. When you want to delegate things to the people, you train them for it, that is pure entrepreneurship. So don't do everything by yourself, be kind to yourself. वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस तभी मिलेगा अगर सारा काम आप खुद नहीं करेंगे. या तो सुपरमैन बन जाओ, ठीक है, स्टाफ नहीं मिलता, कभी छोड़ जाता है, यू हैव टू बी सुपरमैन फॉर सम टाइम, बट ट्रेन दैट स्टाफ. अब सारे दिन सारा पहले दिन में सारा कुछ थोड़ा सीख जाएगा. इमेजिन दोस सिनेरियोस. दे नीड दीज थिंग्स, नीड कंसिस्टेंसी. You can't do all these things consistently if then it is humanly impossible. Business is a team sport and the basics of building the business have changed. Nobody can build their business alone. What is the solution? Hire talented people. Pay a price. Because if you don't, you will pay a bigger price for hiring incapable people. I've used that line in the 30th June webinar. Hiring is an expense for those who hire incapable people because of their own incapability in hiring. What's that session? 30th June session. Might be, the date might be 7th July or so. So people will leave. We have the problem, staff छोड़ जाता है, train करो तो, अरे bonded labor खत्म हो चुका है इंडिया में. Staff आपके साथ VRS नहीं लेगा. Rather have a scientific system of appraising them every year, salary raise and all those things. Or if you learn them to train, if you teach them to train themselves, learn them to leave also. Learn them to leave also. Train them to do their work, also teach and educate to lead them also. Grow and add value. It will become win-win for both. अब ऐसी सिचुएशन में बहुत सारे लोग कहते हैं छोड़ने की बात उनके दिमाग में डालनी ही क्यों है? डालेंगे तो वो तो फिर छोड़ेंगे ही ना. So plan, tell them, I understand you have your business aspirations, you have your growth aspirations, and you may want to leave, but don't leave suddenly. Always leave and help by telling in advance so that we can plan a replacement. Don't cheat and leave. की salary ली 8-10 तारीख को अपनी and open, you can say, if you want to open up your business, take my help. They will understand that my boss is open to my leaving. So they will not do that take your salary and vanish approach. Of course, there is a full scientific system for that, which I take up in the advanced level of my practice management workshop for hiring, firing. Half day, you can say, session of 4 hours, 5 hours dedicated to only this part only. So there will be still people, 2 out of 10, who will still cheat. But then, as वो अभी एक सिनेरियो आपको दिखाया था at the start, people have that mindset. नहीं, वो आजकल के सारे youngsters, सारे बैच में निकम्मे हैं, सारे पासवर्ड निकम्मे हैं. Don't base your opinion based on those 2 or 3 people out of 10. Our problem is not competition. Our problem is lack of action because of the knowledge cholesterol that we all start building in because of no action approach. Because we don't want to move out of our comfort zone for our growth. And people complain when they are not doing what they're supposed to do. अगर कोई दूसरा कर लेता, देख देख क्या कर रहा है वो, because you wanted to do it. He has done it before you. Your neighboring dentist, your fellow dentist, he has done it, so you feel cheated. ये मेरे से पहले कैसे कर गया? Now comes the most important part, the management. As I said, as you grow, you should not be busier, you should be free, because you are an entrepreneur now. What does management do? 4 areas to focus. You should have a clarity first. Clarity of your personal goals, clarity of your professional goals or business goals. Then you should have the competency for that. Then you have to have a capability for that also. Then you have the clarity, you have the competency, you have the capability by learning new things. What you need is the action. And how does action come? Action comes with courage. You should have the courage to go against the flow of the air or the flow of the nature in that respect, or flow of what you have been doing before, not nature, but flow of what you have been doing in your clinical nature, I would say, before. It'll take a huge courage to take that first step. People get trapped in between this third and fourth step here. Lack of action, more knowledge cholesterol, then somebody does it, देख कमीना कैसे पैसे कमा रहा है. People use this notion, use this language. आपको रोका किसी ने, आप भी कमा लो. वो ऐड कर रहा है, आप भी कर लो. Who stopped you? You have also learned the same thing. It all depends upon courage and action taking. Last but not the least for today, I talk about the needs and the wants of patients. Know your patient's needs, know your patient's wants. There are needs and wants for us too. Let us see what they are. I want all of you to employ the needs and the wants mindset in you also. What does need stand for? New, emerging, and existing difficulties to be solved. New, emerging, and existing difficulties to be solved. What is wants? What aspects are needed to be successful? What aspects are needed to be successful? So every problem is not a problem. It is in fact an opportunity for all of us. So I finished my talk here, late by a couple of minutes, but yes, we will start from, as I said, we are done point number 52 in the process pain points. I'll be continuing from point number 53 in the next session on Tuesday, webinar number 4. Pain point number 4, and I hope we will be able to finish up the session in 5 pain points. Okay, so thank you so much, and let me just check the chat, and before that I'll answer the chat and then I can unmute all of you after that. Good evening, LC. Yes, makes sense. Balban. Dr. Divya, I did not get what you did not understand. Please type out in the chat box. Send to. Dr. Sumesh asks why we need to set up organic leads first and then only start doing paid marketing. Sorry to disturb the flow. No worries, I never looked at this message. Dr. Sumesh, that means you did not understand, you did not attend the previous session. Although I repeated a few things in this session also for the validation purpose. Your patients also need some validation. If you are not existent online in that regard, will you buy from any person you come across the first time? So why will your patient do who is not known to you also? So you need to set up an organic base first. Of course, you can go ahead and burn your inorganic or your paid money also, but then you will be disappointed and you will say, this is bloody fraud. Inorganic or paid ads don't work. I burnt the money. Why crib the system? Remember, people fail, systems don't fail. Exit, leave, and exit. Yes. Okay. Two queries. Rakesh ji, you are very kind if you say that. I think Dr. Swati, I correlated with dental practice. If you did not find anything clear to you, please ask me again. Being more friendly is not problematic. I am against any abuse words, but sometimes we need to be strict. There is a very thin line between being strict and being abusive. Colleagues go to that level with staff usually. Class 3, class 4, we call them whatever way, but they go to that level. So friendly or not friendly is something else. Repeat about needs. Needs means what? Your needs or the patient needs and wants. Please be specific. You can unmute yourself and ask. I've given you the power to unmute yourselves. Tuesday, most likely on at 7 a.m. But I'll notify you at least 4-5 days before. Don't worry. You'll get a good margin to block your schedule. Because every time people find an excuse. दोपहर को खाना खाना होता है, घर जाना होता है, बच्चों को लेना होता है, रात को क्लिनिक चल रहा होता है, सुबह हम उठे नहीं होते. We always find an excuse. Don't worry, I'll give you 4-5 days to block the schedule. So Dr. Lalita says, sir, how to deal with people who cheat at workplace? Like recently the workplace I left, my revenue sheet was altered by other doctor, which was shocking to me, but did not know how to respond or act. See, if somebody altered your revenue sheet, have a talk. Have a simple talk that this was a thing, that we know that this is the actual thing, and what you have done is the altered one. Please specify the reason for doing that. Please take your boss into confidence. If you're working at a place, I get an idea that you are working at some other place. You can say insubordination of someone. So please take that person into confidence and have the original records with you. Of course, do not create a bad blood out of the first revenue. Let the other person get a clear chance to, you can say, explain themselves. Sometimes we always misunderstand a few situations, although there are instances where people actually do things wrong. Thank you, Dr. Anand. Thank you, Dr. Antandra sir. Thank you, Dr. Bindu. Thank you, Dr. Amit. Thank you, Dr. Amandeep. Thank you, Dr. Abhishek. Dr. Charvi says, how much location and outer look of the clinic matters? Like all other factors, it also has a contribution. You cannot pinpoint a percentage. There have been instances when the clinics have been in the third lane where even a two-wheeler cannot go, running bombarding practice, and there are clinics which are on main road at a prime location which have failed badly. So it is a contributing factor, but it is not the only factor. What majorly matters is the man behind the machine, or the dentist and his communication and his conversion skills. That is the one important big chunk. The rest, all factors, all play a role. Percentage may differ from one clinic to another. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Somesh. Thank you, Dr. Sonia. Thank you, Dr. Priyan. Needs and wants, the last point you discussed. Okay. Okay. Needs and wants is, I had discussed this in the first session. When you come across a patient, for example, a patient walks into your practice with a open carious lesion 4-6 or a 3-6, you see it as an open and shut case of a root canal. Of course, don't take the shortcut. Don't avoid the initial IOP X-ray. But let's presume all those factors are covered. You see it as an open shut case of root canal. Everything done, documentation done, root canal proceeded with. Suddenly after access opening or before access opening also, your approach, your vision goes to this side. 4-5, 4-6 missing. What is the commonest human approach? Man mein laddu phuta, that Cadbury ad. We will always want कि हाँ इसमें तो पैसा कम मिलेगा, 3-6 में, 4-5, 4-6 में पैसा ज्यादा, चाहे ब्रिज लगे चाहे इम्प्लांट लगे, whatever, depending on what you want to offer or what your patient chooses as per his economic condition. So what I mean is that the patient has walked in with this need to get a treatment done in 3-6. Now that patient may have a partially or a slightly, or we can say half broken 1-1 also, or a filled 1-1 with the discoloration of the filling being done over there or happening over there. So the patient while talking to you, डॉक्टर ये करवा लो ठीक, फिर मेरे को ये भी करवाना है. यहाँ की आपने नीड क्रिएट करी नहीं है, इसकी पेशेंट ने वांट आपको पहले बता दी है. The all this creation of need by you, the want is all dependent upon how you treat this 3-6. If you deal with the 3 E's efficaciously, effectively, and efficiently. If you deal with the 3 E's, let the patient be pulled back to you for their wants in this, and where you will create an alternate need here by your I&E, information and education, that this is the problem which a missing tooth can cause. So this is the need and want scenario of the patient. Of course, we discuss in huge depth and detail in the workshops, but to give you an idea, this is about creating a need in the patient's mind. So we need to take the needs and wants in our arena, in our dentist mindset, is about the new and existing and emerging problems to be solved, difficulties to be solved. So this is the way. Thank you, Dr. Raki. Dr. Surbi says, I also got treated by my landlord of old clinic, had a chat with him, but did not want to take anything as he had taken advance. That is where I say written documentation, चाहे patient हो, चाहे landlord हो, चाहे staff हो, चाहे कुछ भी हो, written documentation always helps. If you're skipping your documentation in your patient work also via consent, via your record, you are digging a grave for yourself. किसने बोला, कब बोला, क्या record हुआ? Written में सब record होता है. So once you do that, you'll automatically realize the importance of the written work. Thank you, Dr. Monali. Thank you, Dr. Deep. He cheated me by saying a broker is opening his office when I requested him to not let dentist in. Again, written thing I would say. So Dr. Charvi says, thank you. After he left his place. Dr. Sabyasachi, thank you so much for your detailed session. Thank you, Dr. Vishaka. Thank you, Dr. Archana. Totally agree with your observations. Would you like to share any of your pain points in dentistry, how you deal with them? I deal with them with a smile. I deal with them with a smile. Nobody is bereft of any pain points. If I say I have attained nirvana, I don't have any pain points, I am the biggest liar in the world. I also have pain points, but I know they are transient, they are temporary, and I have belief in my own competency and capability, and I take the courage to take that step. But before all of that, I have the clarity that I have that pain point. So I deal with them with a smile, because problems are a part of life. They rather provide me with opportunities. If I would have been dealt with a pain point, my pain point was biggest pain point in my personal life was to not face a camera. यार एक कैमरे पे किसी दिन मेरे को स्टेज पे बोलना पड़ेगा ना, बड़ा मुश्किल काम है. How will I do that? I have not overcome that pain point. I will overcome that pain point handsomely, and I'm proud of what I am doing in front of camera right now. ऑफलाइन में बहुत कुछ बोलता था, कैमरा के सामने बहुत बड़ा पेन पॉइंट था मेरी जिंदगी का. डर के आगे जीत है वाला पेन पॉइंट. माउंटेन ड्यू पी के भी नहीं गया वो. But thanks to the guys from World Dental Association who pushed me into this, and I'm before you after 2.5 years and after 500 plus videos, doing this thing effortlessly. So thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Mayur. Thank you, Dr. Sneha. Thank you, Dr. Bhavna. Dr. Lalita says, how to find a good practice where one can grow. As a BDS doctor, we are just expected to do filling, scaling, and do paperwork. So basically, I leave the practice as I'm not feeling any growth. Rather, I feel I'm wasting time and age as I am not growing. My mental health is deteriorating inside. See, it is like a stock market. Firstly, you need to have lots of patience. Number two, you need to prove yourself with the limited opportunities. You may not be given multiple opportunities as in a pain point by a colleague who wrote, all the fresh graduates are obsolete. They are zero knowledge, zero skill. He passed out the judgment, but which is not the truth. I would say very, very openly in front of all of you, today's generation is more sorted than us. Yes, I call myself of the yesteryear generation in that regard, because I'm in the 23rd year of practice. May not be that old in age, but in number of years, I've seen lots of ups and downs in my practice also. But today's generation is very sorted. They have much more clarity than what we had 28 years back, because they are exposed to a lot of information which we did not have access to. So don't underestimate their capabilities and don't be too judgmental on them. I would say to all the senior pros who are listening to me, the junior colleagues or the youngsters, I would say not the junior, the youngsters, they all need our love and support. There will be bad eggs in every area. There will be bad eggs in every area. वो सीनियर्स में भी होंगे, वो जूनियर्स में भी होंगे. But to make your judgment out of that, कि ये सारी खराब है, if 20% is bad, 80% is good, and that holds for everyone. So if they are not skillful, tell them. You need to update your skills in that. The patient says, if a patient comes to you, मेडिको लीगल प्रॉब्लम लेके आ गया, देखो रूट कनाल में ऐसे हो गया, वैसे हो गया, पहली बात हम लोग बोलते हैं, व्हाट डू यू वांट टू डू? यू वांट मी टू राइट इन रिटर्न? सॉरी, यू आर एट द रॉन्ग प्लेस. बाय बाय, बाय बाय मिस्टर 28. नहीं, अपने को इसका हल करना है. ओके, वी शैल नॉट डिस्कस द पास्ट. फिर भी डॉक्टर एक बात बताओ, ये प्रॉब्लम कॉमन है कि डॉक्टर ने जानबूझ के किया है? सर, ये हर इंसान, हम लोग इंसान है, मिस्टेक सबसे होती है, मेरे से भी 100 हुई होंगी. That is the way I try to generalize the problem for a mistake done by a colleague. I don't try to generalize किसने किया. Many times I told in the previous session, many times I don't know the name of the colleague also, and I'm not interested in polluting my database in the brain. I have so many things to think of, so many things to plan of. I don't clutter my brain with useless stuff. I'm not interested in the useless KYC of anyone in that regard. So don't clutter your brain with such things. Tell it openly. Go yourself, go back, ask yourself. आप निकलते ही ग्रेजुएशन के बाद 100% हो गए थे, शायद आप में से कुछ होंगे, शायद आप में से कुछ होंगे who were able to handle everything. I was one of them. I used to handle all my OPD comfortably, conveniently, right from the first day of my, you can say, practice in the hospital. My hospital staff used to feel envious of me. I still don't boast of it. As a youngster, what I was, I understand many of us were not. We evolved by practice. I was good in that aspect, but I was very, very poor in communication, convincing, and conversion skills. 1 प्लस था, 3 नेगेटिव थे मेरे में. So I'm aware of that. Gradually you overcome that. Nobody is perfect who will be good in that aspect on the first day. So learn to respect and understand those things. They may not be good in maybe the handwork. They may be good in the conversion part. They may be good in the selling part. They could be maybe good in the convincing part. भगवान ने हर में कुछ ना कुछ अच्छा डाला है. As a senior जौहरी, I would say, आपको तराशना है कि उस कलीग में, यंगस्टर में क्या अच्छा है. People say ना आजकल के सारे एसोसिएट यंगस्टर यूजलेस हैं. I disagree with them openly. So trust them. Trust them. If they may not have a good handwork skill, अब जिसको काम अच्छा आता है शायद उसको बोलना अच्छा ना आता हो, like me. At my stage, 20 years back, 23 years back, so there will always be some flaws. You have evolved over these flaws in the next 10, 15, 20 years of practice. You have overcome those flaws. So you try to find a mirror for you everywhere. वो सिर्फ बाथरूम में आपके मिरर, आपके ड्रेसिंग एरिया में रहने दो मिरर. Don't try finding out clones for yourself in the associates. Look out for the good qualities. So that is the thing I can say. So for you, Dr. Lalita, I would say try to prove yourself, try to upskill yourself where you are lacking. For that, you need to have a clarity first, where you are lacking. Once you have that clarity, the only way is up. I hope I have answered your question. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Snehal. Thank you, Dr. Vinay. Thank you, Dr. Surbi. Anyone wants to ask anything, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Can I ask?
Yeah, sure, Deep. Go ahead.
सर, जब अपन हायर करते हैं किसी स्टाफ को या कुछ को भी, सर देयर आर मेनी पॉइंट्स व्हिच आर लैकिंग. मतलब एक तो प्रोसेस नहीं पता होता कि क्या अपन देख रहे हैं बंदे और बंदे में. तो कुछ पॉइंट्स आपके लेक्चर के बाद मुझे वो पता चले, बट इज देयर एनी बुक व्हिच यू सजेस्ट कि इट विल मेक दिस प्रोसेस लिटिल बिट इजियर सो आई कैन गेट सम नॉलेज, कि मुझे टू क्लैरिफाई कि वो जो आप मॉडल बताया था आपने वन ऑफ
आइसबर्ग मॉडल
यस सर, तो उसके बेस पे कुछ है क्या कि वी कैन आस्क राइट क्वेश्चंस?
सी मैंने आइसबर्ग मॉडल और स्टार क्वेश्चंस बताए थे आपको दोनों.
हाँ सर.
So go and do a detailed search on it. You will find a lot of answers on it. There is a lot of data on that online. So competency model जो है ना, iceberg competency model is the best model to evaluate. Where you can say evaluate the ask mindset of that candidate. That is the reason I made all of you do that job description document.
हाँ सर.
तो वो कीजिए, आपको बहुत सारे आंसर्स मिलेंगे. स्टार क्वेश्चन तो बहुत कॉमनली हैं. टू फाइंड आउट इफ द क्वेश्चन दैट सूट यू, क्रिएट योर वर्जन 1 कि आपको क्या जेडी में आपके क्या चाहिए. ठीक है ना, आपने बनाया था जेडी?
हाँ सर.
So you at least have a basic idea now. So create on improving that. Read more about iceberg model. इसका detailed workshop I'll be taking up next year in March. But then उसका criteria वही है कि उसने basic attend किया हो. Ferrari चलानी है तो पहले ऑल्टो चलानी आती हो ना. तो वो basic वालों के लिए eligibility होगी for the advanced workshop for practice management, but not for everyone. Yeah. Anyone else wants to ask anything, or we call it a day? So then, good guys, we are good to go. Then let's call it a day. And I hope Dr. Ronak, like this session, they are not recorded because a lot of these sessions contain my lot of paid content, which I offer on only paid workshops. So you will not find session 1 and 2 right now anywhere. It will be not on YouTube. The only way you can attend is via live. So do attend session 4 because I am continually repeating many things so that these things get cemented inside. So you won't get it. अगर मंथ के 5 पेशेंट देख रहे हैं तो फिर भी असिस्टेंट रखना चाहिए. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Why not? Why not? The question is, if you are not doing an offline marketing, or if you feel shy in doing an offline marketing, send your assistant for that first. Then you can follow up after that. You can hire the assistant for those things, if not for the first. Yes, Dr. Divya, you want to ask something?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. So the thing is, so after the work is done, the patients are satisfied. But yeah, and even after, so when they send a review is also very good. Sometimes the review is extremely grand, like 10-15 lines, some great compliments which we did not expect and all that. But then the whatever pending treatments are there, they are not coming back for that.
It is not always that they will work as per you. They have to look into their economic condition, their other scheduling. Maybe there are marriages in the family. Maybe their other work schedules are clashing with it. The only thing is you have to do the task as creating the need. Once they know the importance of that, they will automatically make up the time. May not make the time up according to you, but they will surely make up the time if you have created the need well enough in their mind.
So they may come back, but someday.
Absolutely, absolutely. किसने किस वक्त आना है? शायद they will come back in one of your lowest months when you're having an extremely bad footfall, maybe in the Diwali month, where there is a huge slump usually because of the festivities around. So maybe they come in that month and get their good work done, and you will say, patient मेरे पास 2 बड़े आए इस month में, but they were good enough to make me an average income. So
I was wondering if there is a leaking bucket, क्योंकि समझ नहीं आ रहा था कि क्या हो रहा है, क्योंकि this is happening very frequently. Very few of them actually got all of the things done, like the treatment plan, whatever I have made. Very few of them have gotten everything checked. Only some of them, most of them have not. They just get the first the second, and then after the first or second, there's this gap. Usually, they take an appointment after many days, and then what happens is usually that's the modus operandi. After that, they cancel the appointment, and they say something has come up, and some other day they will be visiting, but then that day never comes. Then it feels like we are spamming them.
No,
by,
something.
calling
No,
them.
no. Something. Sometimes genuinely also comes up. Number one. Number two. Don't spam them unnecessarily. Send a reminder after 3 months, 6 months via message, via call, whatever way. But it should be once, and that's it. It should be a reminder call only, not a push or like a car salesman. Okay. So make sure to differentiate between the two things.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
How to make positive reviews in marketing, Dr. Pooja. How to make positive reviews in marketing? By putting up on your website, by putting up on the public viewed site where the audience can make use of it, where you can get a positive validation from the, you can say, your visitors. Visitors means your patients. If you have a paid ad running, they will send them on your landing page, send them on your testimonial page or the feedback page, thereby you can use that. So offline marketing के effective तरीके क्या हो सकते हैं, sir? Is there a video of yours on that on YouTube channel? That is in the pipeline, but yes, the video is not there as it now. But there are multiple ways to do that. The first thing always I say is the human contact. That is the best way to do that. But other than that, your boards, your pamphlets, all those things have been existing since the time immemorial. But networking at various places, creating awareness education camps, you can say lectures in schools, Red Cross bhavans, all these factors, little, all create awareness. And they are not always the conversion things, but they are usually the things that will make you visible and will make a conversion sooner or later. May not happen when you want it, but they will happen when you need it the most. So believe in the divine power also. I'll make a YouTube video on that very shortly. There's a huge list of topics which is pending with me. I'll take that up very soon, maybe in a month or so. So anything else or we are done? So आज मैं देखता हूँ आप लोग में से कितने फीडबैक डालते हैं इन द ग्रुप, ठीक है ना? लेक्चर सुन के सिर्फ आपका भी केसी बढ़ा है, नॉलेज कोलेस्ट्रॉल बढ़ा है, क्या फीडबैक डालेंगे? ऑलरेडी अटेंडेंस वाज लेस, 42, 43 थी मैक्स, नहीं 45 तक थी मैक्स आई गेस at one point of time. Had been 70, 72 in the previous sessions. But yes, I understand it is Janmashtami today. That's okay. So thank you so much, guys. Take care. I see you on 30th August, most likely 7 a.m. But I'll notify you at least 4-5 days minimum. I've notified you the date, but I'll surely not be taking up in the night, either in the afternoon or in the morning, preferably in the morning. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Take care.